Have you ever wondered how the forest fire keeps burning continuously for several days? Do you know that the birds living in the forest themselves are responsible for the forest fire? It sounds strange, but the reality is that some birds work to increase the forest fire and sometimes even set it on fire. Now, you must be thinking that birds do not know how to set fire, then how can they do this? Well, let us tell you how the birds we often consider innocent and harmless can actually be quite cunning. Just to benefit themselves, they put the lives of other animals and birds in the forest at risk. So this is the story of 1980, when a firefighter went to extinguish a fire in Kakadu National Park. There, he saw something that surprised him. He saw that a bird picked up a smoldering piece of wood in its beak and dropped it where there was no fire. Because of that smoldering wood, a fire broke out at that place as well. At first, the firefighter thought that this might have happened by mistake. Maybe this bird was carrying this wood to make its nest, and when it came to know that there was fire in this wood, it might have thrown it away. But after a while, he saw that another bird did the same thing. Then he felt that these birds were doing this intentionally. So the question arises, are birds so intelligent, or are they so foolish that they do not realize the damage or consequences of fire? White kite, black kite, and brown falcon are those birds that set or increase fire in the forest. Now you must be wondering, where do these birds get fire from? Because neither can they light a matchstick, nor can they create fire from stones. So the answer is lightning. When lightning strikes the forest, it causes forest fires. After this, these clever birds wait for the flames to subside so that they can pick up the burning wood and throw it somewhere else. Then they sit comfortably and watch the whole scene. Now the question arises that why do these birds feel the need to set fire to the forests, which are called the home of millions of animals and birds? Do they enjoy seeing the forest fires and animals burning? Why do they add fuel to the fire? You'll be amazed when you hear the reason behind this behavior. When fire spreads in the forest, these birds remain alert and keep an eye on which animals are coming out from where to escape the fire. Their purpose is to fill their stomachs by hunting those animals. These birds especially see which side has more fire and where they can go to get good prey. Also, they ensure that the animals do not burn too much and do not get caught in the fire themselves. Many animals hide in dense forests and do not come out. In such a situation, these birds force them to come out by lighting a fire to satisfy their hunger. Fire is a shortcut for these birds, through which they can easily fill their stomachs. Sometimes these birds show so much cleverness that they pick up the wood of the bonfire and spread it in the forest, which causes a fire. Scientists came to know about this behavior of birds only some time ago, but the indigenous people of Australia have known about it for the last 40,000 years. It is surprising that what scientists kept thinking about, these tribal people knew it thousands of years ago without any study. This means that these birds have been filling their stomachs by setting fire to forests for thousands of years. It may seem wrong, but these birds do this only to fill their stomachs. If seen from this perspective, it will not be right to call it wrong. And the biggest thing is that we cannot blame these birds for the destruction they cause, because somewhere humans also do something similar for their own benefit. We are also destroying forests for our own benefit, without thinking about what will happen to the animals living in these forests. It is possible that birds have also learned this from humans. The way animals and birds are learning a lot from humans, it is also possible that one day animals will be seen working like humans, or will be seen active on social media. Well, this was just a joke. Now coming back to our topic, now meet the marabou storks, who truly take advantage of this opportunity. When white kite, black kite, and brown falcons set fire, these birds go to that place and hunt insects. These birds like to eat insects, and where else will they get better food than a burnt place? Therefore, they follow the fire and reach the place where they can easily get food to fill their stomachs. But it is not only birds who take advantage of fire to fill their stomachs, but animals like mares and raccoons also do the same. Both these animals also prey on animals running away from fire. It is also important to know that not all animals try to save their lives by running away from fire. Some animals have different ways of saving themselves. For example, amphibians hide themselves inside the soil. Moose go into the water and wait for the fire to end. But kangaroos have their own unique style. They run towards the place where the fire has started and start jumping there, so that they can occupy that place. Perhaps kangaroos know that the place where fire has already started will never catch fire again. That is why they occupy that place as soon as they get a chance. Now let's talk about the chimpanzee. Because they think a little like humans, they also know how to avoid fire. The way chimpanzees know to ignore fire, other animals of the forest do not know that. They protect themselves in their own way, like the gopher tortoise. This tortoise is the most special tortoise among the tortoise species because it digs a hole that can provide shelter to about 360 species of animals at a time. From snakes to rats, anyone can take shelter in this hole. This was about the forests. Now, let us tell you that these are the birds that set fire to powerhouses. Nowadays, powerhouses are quite safe, but it was not so earlier. You must have seen that many birds sit on electric wires. When these birds flew near these wires, their wings touched the wires, which caused sparks and fire. Now let us take you to even older times, when birds were used to capture a city. In old times, there was a princess named Olga, who ruled the city of Kievan Rus. She used birds to capture the city of Ezgoristan. Princess Olga asked for 3 pigeons and 3 sparrows from every house in her state. The people of the city did not find this demand too big, so they gave 3 pigeons and 3 sparrows to their princess without asking any questions. After this, the princess showed cleverness and tied a cloth on the feet of all those pigeons and sparrows and set it on fire and left them towards the city of Ezgoristan. When the birds flew with the fire, the whole city was burnt to ashes. The people there had to leave the city overnight, and Princess Olga took over the entire city. We all know how fire causes devastation, but in the forests, it works like a reset button. When a forest catches fire, a new life is born there after some time. Although this process takes some time, but the change is also clearly visible. Gradually, the animals living in the forest have also learned to avoid this trouble. At the same time, there are some animals who have learned to hunt by turning this trouble into their advantage. So how did you like this video? Do tell us by commenting. Like the video, subscribe the channel, and press the bell icon.